So we all have free will. And this is the essence and basis of life. How we choose to use our free will moment after moment after moment. The reason we take vows at the time of initiation is it helps us especially to become serious and determined. This is what I want. But we'll only achieve it not by making a decision. We will achieve it according to how at every moment we make decisions. But when we're dritavrata, when we have a determined vow, when we have a determined conviction, then that determination will help us determine the choices we make at every moment. So very important. Because we have seen materially on every level and spiritually, even, just 1 second of inattentiveness could create havoc that may last for a long, long time. Human life is meant for responsibility. Therefore, nasta prayeshya bhadreshu nityam bhagavati sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. That is why we hear from Srimad Bhagavatam every day. That is why Prabhupada said, if a devotee is not chanting at least 16 rounds attentively every day, at any moment that devotee will fall under the clutches of Maya. That is a purport of His divine grace. So we're chanting every day. We're hearing Srimad Bhagavatam every day. Why? To access the power of God. To clarify our intelligence. To fortify our conviction. And to access the grace of God to protect us. To empower us. Otherwise, Maya is very, very powerful. Daiviheshu gunamayi mama maya duratya. Mame vame papadyante maya me tatirantite. This material nature consisting of 3 modes are very, very powerful. Impossible to overcome for the jiva. Only one who takes shelter of me, Krishna says, can overcome it. The aversions, the temptations, very strong, and they come at any minute. When we're least expecting, they may come upon us. But if we're sincere to take shelter of the Lord will protect us. But this is how we take shelter of the Lord. By regularly hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, by reading Srila Prabhupada's books, by sincerely, regularly chanting the holy names, by keeping good association as much as possible. Through this process, we're expressing to Krishna that I'm taking shelter of you, my Lord. We do this in the morning, this morning program, our sadhana, so that through the day, we will have the conviction and the inner spiritual strength to make the right decisions. To choose what pleases Krishna rather than Maya. We all have this free will. And it's not just about theoretical knowledge. Theoretical knowledge is like a foundation, but you have to build something on that foundation through your actions. Jnana vijnana. Krishna says there's theoretical knowledge and realized knowledge. When we put theoretical knowledge into practice, it is realized. Then it enters the heart. So we see Hiranyakashipu represents the demoniac nature within all of us. And even though he is such a great scholar of Vedanta, why is he a demon? Because he doesn't apply these teachings to himself. He's still thinking in terms of I, me, and mine. After convincing everybody else that they're not the body, there's no one who's more attached to the body than him. Hare Krishna. Because without the grace of God, there can be no realization. A humble service attitude pleases Krishna. Through a humble service attitude, we can realize this knowledge. Some devotees ask Prabhupada, should we learn Sanskrit profusely? Of course, for Pradyumna and others, he encouraged them to learn Sanskrit. That was their inclination. They had that capacity. And Prabhupada kept them, doing humble service in their pursuit of Sanskrit. Prabhupada said, that's not what Krishna consciousness is about. That's just a particular service. He said, it's not about being a great scholar. It's about having the right service attitude. If you know just a few things of the philosophy, but you please Krishna, those few things will be realized and take you back home, back to Godhead. If you know so many things, but you don't have that proper service attitude, you won't realize anything. And like Hiranyakashipu, you'll just be contradicting what you speak. This is a very, very important subject. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also, their great emphasis was on devotional service. Yes, they wanted us to learn these books. They wanted us to imbibe and to be able to defend the principles of Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta through argument, through debate, according to our capacity. He wanted us to do that. Prabhupada said a devotee should be like a lawyer who knows the book so well he could refer to different passages to defeat any argument. But unless we have that humble service attitude, it all remains theoretical. That's really the basis. That Brahman in Srirangam, he was illiterate. And the greatest scholars in the whole planet were living in Srirangam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not look in the direction of those other scholars. He sat with that illiterate Brahmin who was reciting the verses of Gita. He didn't know if it was right or wrong. The other scholars knew it was wrong. Lord Chaitanya asked him why. He said, my Guru Maharaj ordered me to read the Gita every day here. Everyone's laughing at me, ridiculing me, chastising me, because I'm illiterate practically, but I'm trying. I'm trying to please my Guru. I'm his humble servant. He didn't understand the words technically. Lord Chaitanya said, well, if you don't understand the words, then what is your understanding? He said, as I'm reading the Gita, I'm just seeing Krishna, who has a beautiful bluish form, who's taking the reins as the servant of Arjuna. Such a Lord, serving his devotee and speaking the truth. Lord Chaitanya said, you have realized the essence of Gita. You are the true authority of Bhagavad Gita. He embraced him, gave him love of God, and for the whole 4 months, every day the Lord would spend time with that Brahmin. Because of his service attitude. He knew everything that was required to be known. So Hiranyakashipu, he is here. He's quoting Yamaraj, Mahajano Yena Gatasabanta. Yes, Yamaraj is a Mahajan. The path of perfection is to follow in the footsteps of the Mahajans. He's citing the great souls. Here, Hiranyakashipu is quoting one of the greatest devotees in all of existence, Vidura. But what is his realization? Envy, lust, greed, pride, and fear of death. Hare Krishna. Because he is not using his free will properly. He knows what Vishnu wants, but he's unwilling to utilize his free will for that purpose. So we all have our divine and demoniac natures. That is discussed in Bhagavad Gita. It is very important that we strengthen ourselves with knowledge as far as possible, with association, with the grace of God, so that we can use our free will for Krishna, for Srila Prabhupada, for the Vaishnavas. Thank you very much. It's very late, so we will end here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.